Hi, welcome back to AIA. Today, we're tackling a common challenge, speaking English without getting stuck due to not knowing what vocabulary to use. But fear not, because today I've got 5 tips to help you keep the conversation flowing. Let's dive right in. Tip 1. Utilize synonyms and paraphrasing. Now, to better illustrate this tip, let's watch a scene from the famous series Scrubs. This scene takes place when Lucy was nervously talking to her supervisor. She couldn't remember a basic term to express her idea and had to use another way to describe the same idea. What's the word, and how did she say it?
Sometimes I get nervous under pressure and I forget basic, you know, the things that you speak.
Words.
Yes, words. People speak words.
Instead of getting stuck, Lucy switched to synonyms and paraphrasing.
I forget basic, you know, the things that you speak.
In this instance, Lucy couldn't recall the basic term. She had to describe it, the things that you speak. It effectively communicated the idea so that her supervisor could guess what she wanted to talk about, words. And this helped the conversation flow. Let's look at another example. Can you guess what I'm talking about? I don't remember the word, but it's a yellow fruit, like a smile. Yes, that's right, it's a banana. So when you find yourself at a vocabulary roadblock, remember that communication is about sharing ideas, not just using specific words. Synonyms and paraphrasing allow you to express yourself even when you forget the exact word you're trying to say. This is why this technique works so well. Now let's see how you can apply this strategy. Imagine that you suddenly forgot a word. Look at the picture and try to describe it to me using paraphrasing. A possible answer could be, I really like, you know, an orange fruit to make soup. Ah, pumpkin.
Y si tú quieres educar tu oído 100% gratis, tengo un entrenamiento que me tomó meses crear, que puedes bajar hoy en día 100% gratis. Educa tu oído hoy. Enlace en el primer comentario.
Tip 2. Use nonverbal communication. Well, now you might ask, why is it so important? Well, when we communicate, we do it in different ways. Words are important, but we also use other ways like gestures, facial expressions, and body movements. These non-word actions make our messages richer and help when words are not enough. It's like a language everyone can understand, even if they speak different languages. Let's take a look at the following conversation to better understand this technique. Imagine you're having a conversation with a friend about a recent exciting event, but you suddenly hit a roadblock because you can't find the right words to express your enthusiasm. I went to this amazing concert last night. The music was just, it was just...
2,000 years later.
Awesome, wonderful, fantastic? Yes, it was. As you can see, at this point, you can simply shift to nonverbal communication. Your friend, without precise words, will pick up on the positive energy you're sharing and help you say the word. Let's break down why this worked in our example. When you embrace nonverbal communication, you not only maintain the flow of the conversation, but also enhance it. The other person could sense your enthusiasm through your smile and gestures, filling in the gaps due to your limited vocabulary. Here are additional tips for nonverbal communication. Facial expressions. Your face is a powerful tool for showing emotions. Use smiles, raised eyebrows, or a furrowed brow to express joy, surprise, or concern. Gestures. Hand movements can add emphasis and clarity to your message. For instance, using pointing, waving, or thumbs up to enhance your expressions. Body language. Posture and body movements communicate confidence and engagement. Maintain an open posture to show attentiveness and interest in the conversation. Tip 3. Ask clarifying questions. Now, here's the thing. It's absolutely normal not to know every single word in a conversation. Instead of freezing up or staying silent, let's turn to a powerful strategy: asking questions to fill in those vocabulary gaps. Imagine this scenario. You're in the middle of a conversation and someone drops a word you're not familiar with. Instead of feeling stuck, you can ask clarifying questions. It's a skill that not only helps you understand the word, but also keeps the conversation flowing smoothly. Let's say you're discussing your favorite book with a friend and they mention a term like suspenseful. Now, if you're not sure about the meaning of that word, don't panic. Try saying something like, "I'm not sure what suspenseful means. Could you tell me what it means?" Now, here's the beauty of it. People generally love to share their knowledge. In our little scenario, your friend might say, "Oh, it means full of excitement and nervousness about what's going to happen." See, you not only learned a new word, but also kept the conversation alive and engaging. Now, let's go over some simple clarifying questions and statements that you can use to communicate your confusion. What do you mean by?
What do you mean by astronomical?
What do you mean by? For example, what do you mean by that? Or what do you mean by active listening? When you ask this clarifying question, make sure you link the words do and you so it sounds like yeah. What do you hear it? What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by astronomical? What do you mean by astronomical?
What does mean?
What does that mean?
What does mean? For example, what does peer-to-peer feedback mean? You can use this question to ask the person you're speaking with to clarify what they mean. Also, listen for the falling intonation in what does that mean? You can hear it when you say the word mean. Another example could be, what does break a leg mean?
What does that mean? What does that mean?
I'm not sure what that word means. I'm not sure what that word means. This is more of a statement rather than a question, but it does communicate to the other person that you might not be understanding everything they are saying. For example, your friend just said a word you've never heard before. You can say, I'm not sure what that word means. Remember that I'm is a contraction of I am, and there's a z sound at the end of the word means. Means. Hear it? I'm not sure what that word means. Now it's your turn. Think of a recent conversation you've had or one you might have in the future. Imagine a scenario where you encounter an unfamiliar word. What kind of clarifying questions could you ask to keep the conversation going? Write them down or share them in the comments below. Tip 4. Learn filler phrases and transition words. Now, what are these things called filler phrases and transition words? Well, they're like little helpers in your sentences. Filler phrases help when you forget a word, and transition words keep your conversation flowing nicely. So there's no awkward pauses. Let me give you some examples. I can't remember the word, but the thing I'm talking about is. I don't know the term, but what I'm trying to say is. Now, why does this technique work well when a word slips your mind? When you use phrases like these, you signal to the other person that you're actively engaged. It shows that your focus is on expressing the main message, not just the precise vocabulary. This fosters a more collaborative and understanding atmosphere in your conversations. Let's apply this to a real-life scenario. Imagine you're discussing a complex scientific concept. If you can't remember a specific word, you can smoothly transition with a phrase like, I can't remember the exact word, but mainly it's about. This not only keeps the conversation flowing, but also shows your ability to express ideas even when faced with a vocabulary gap. Here are the 3 common filler and transition phrases we've gone over. Listen and repeat or take some notes in case you forget a specific word the next time you have a conversation. I can't remember the word, but... I don't know the term, but... I'm not recalling the exact term, but... Tip 5. Build a personal word bank. Think of this as your own place where you can store new words and phrases you come across. This personal word bank will become a valuable resource in expanding and strengthening your vocabulary over time. Let's take a look at a sample vocabulary journal. You can organize it by categories such as nouns, verbs, and adjectives. This way, when you encounter a new word or phrase, you can easily categorize it and find it later. For example, if you learned the word adventurous, you would place it under the adjectives section. Starting your own word bank is simple. Begin with common words or phrases that you frequently use or encounter. It could be words related to your hobbies, work, or daily life. The goal is to make this a personalized resource tailored to your own interests and experiences. So what common words or phrases will you begin with? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's inspire each other to build our own language treasure chests. Now, the key to making this tip effective is to revisit and revise your word bank regularly. Set aside some time each week to go through your journal, helping you remember the words you've learned. This repetition will not only strengthen your vocabulary, but also make you a more confident English speaker. So that's it for today. We've gone over 5 tips to help you keep the conversation going, even when you forget a specific word. Let me know what you think about these tips. If you have any questions or want to learn more ways to improve your English quickly and easily by watching more videos, don't forget to comment below. Thanks for watching. I'm Teacher Kim, and we hope to see you in the next video. Bye!